to the video. Before we begin, if not already, please take a moment to subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot. And click the bell icon to receive notifications when I upload. Comment your little heart out. And most of all, please enjoy. Now back to the video. Star Wars was such a huge part of my growing up. It was the first movie that just opened up my imagination, and with the toys, I could keep it going. At the time, George Lucas only planned 9 movies, but he only made the middle trilogy. Eventually, I kinda grew out of it, and Star Wars made way for other stories. But it always had a special place in my heart, and still does. George Lucas then made the prequels, to mixed reviews. People appreciate them now, but I remember the hate, don't lie. A lot of complaining. Flash forward a decade, and Disney bought the rights, with the intention to make more movies. It's a good thing, right? The first of a new trilogy, with a new generation, a new hope, if you will. This is Star Wars, The Force Awakens. Let me tell you, I got a serious thrill seeing a brand new opening crawl, hearing that theme again. I was giddy. And yes, it was John Williams. No substitutes. In a nutshell, Luke Skywalker went missing, and Princess Leia sent someone to gather a clue to his location. The Empire might have been taken down, but they really just rebranded into the First Order. And the Rebellion also rebranded into the Resistance.
Everybody got that?
Another damn eclipse? Stormtroopers like to rave before a mission. And here's our newest toy, BB-8. Here's a little something for your trouble. Get yourself something nice. Max von Sydow, now I know we're in for a treat. He gives the hot potato to Poe Dameron, the greatest pilot in the Resistance. A battalion of stormtroopers is hard to miss. Desar stop, thanks. Poe tries to escape, but forget what you know about stormtroopers. These guys can actually hit shit. Poe is stranded, so he gives the hot potato to BB-8. The idea being that a little droid can hide in an open desert. The villagers do fight back a little, and a few troopers go down. It's like he tried to finger paint on his head, but died first.
It's a turkey.
This seems to trigger something in FM2187. It's like he doesn't want to be there anymore. Like he knows what they're doing is wrong. As if he knows J.J. Abrams will only f*** over his character down the line. Our villain arrives. This is Kylo Ren. Kylo Stimpy couldn't make it.
I'll show you the dark side.
But you cannot deny the truth.
He calls the guy old and kills him, letting us know how vicious this villain is. Poe tries to shoot him, but Kylo Ren uses the Force to stop the laser blast in mid-air. How badass is that? Oh my god, this is shaping up to be something else.
So who talks first? You talk first? I talk first?
Did they edit in the rehearsal?
The old man gave it to you.
I would like to think their level of technology would give Kylo Ren a voice box better than an average Wendy's drive-thru. This is the head stormtrooper, giggity, Captain Phasma. If you think keeping white armor clean is a nightmare, let's talk about Chrome. I can tell this character is gonna be amazing. The order to execute everyone is given, and the troopers do their jobs. Except for FN2187. But don't think the boss doesn't see everything. Poe is taken aboard their Star Destroyer. FN2187 finds some time to himself to have a panic attack, but gets in trouble with management. You're supposed to kill when ordered and never take off your helmet. This is the way. Ooh, that's wrong, isn't it? This is Rey, a scavenger. She's stripping stuff to sell, like power converters and copper plumbing. And this looks like fun. Be careful with that sand. I hear it gets everywhere. The whole planet is a wasteland of crashed Imperial ships. I can't wait to learn more about this backstory, and I don't want to play Battlefront to learn about it. Rey sells her stuff for food, which isn't much. She goes back to her hovel, where she counts the days and eats weird gray space bread. Did I call this a hovel? I stand corrected. She lives inside a downed Imperial walker, and I could make that work. She hears BB-8 being captured by some nomad, and she rescues the little guy. You can't claim a droid that's still kicking. I'm pretty sure there's a rule somewhere. Now Rey has a new friend, and the droid distribution system strikes again. It's like me, but with cats. Meanwhile, Kylo goes to probe Poe. Kylo tries to read his mind. He learns that he gave the important thing to a droid back on the surface. If only he did that when they were still on the ground.
It's in a droid. A BB unit.
Now he has to put his shoes back on, find his keys, drive all the way back.
1/2 portion.
Her wares aren't worth much more than usual, but Mr. Plutt would like to buy the droid for a shit ton more of weird gray bread. But no sale. She would only pig out on it, and it's just too many space carbs. FN 2187 busts out Poe and reveals his crazy plan.
This is a rescue. You need a pilot.
And a wonderful bromance is born. I dig their chemistry. It's like a space fantasy, Crosby and Hope. When they try to steal a TIE fighter, they forget to unplug it, so that's embarrassing. That happened to me once at a gas station, and the less we talk about that, the better. This is a Special Forces version of a TIE, which is why it's a two-seater. Nerd. They break free, and now they have to outrun a few missiles. Now Poe gives FN 2187 his name.
Finn, I'm gonna call you Finn, is that alright? Finn, yeah!
Thank God, because I was getting tired of saying FN 2187. They get hit, and they crash back on the planet. After the crash, Finn wakes up alone, and all he has to remember Poe by is his boss jacket. Finn makes it to a settlement and drinks some dog water. Finn sees some thugs mug Rey, and he's about to help, but Rey can take care of herself. BB-8 also spots Poe's jacket on Finn and assumes the worst. Wow, BB-8's a racist.
So you're with the Resistance?
Finn pretends to be part of the Resistance and tells them Poe didn't make it.
Apparently he has a map that leads to Luke Skywalker.
Rey's heard of him. She's seen the movies. But the stormtroopers arrive, and soon TIE fighters start tearing shit up. They try to escape in a hot rod, but when it's blown up, they commandeer a hunk of junk. But that hunk of junk is the fastest hunk of junk in the galaxy, the Millennium Falcon, apparently stolen from Han Solo. Oh, the goosebumps this scene gave me. Rey pilots, and Finn takes one of the guns.
That's mine!
They fly off, chased through wrecks and canyons, and it's just so friggin' awesome to see that Falcon take to the sky again. This whole sequence is exciting, well edited and paced. The sound design is amazing. It's thrilling. It's so thrilling. We finally get a sense of the speed and agility the ship was known for. They make it into space, but they break down.
Help me with this! Quick!
Yep, it's the Falcon all right. Meanwhile, Kylo Ren loses money on the Super Bowl. 22-25, Kansas City.
Anything else?
BB-8 goes along with Finn's lies, but another ship scoops them up. Look who it is, kids. It's Han and Chewie.
We're home.
You know, it's hard to hide under a see-through floor. Introductions are made, generations come together. They need Han's help. They mention Luke's name, and Han becomes a little less gruff. Then they're interrupted by Conja Club, which I think was Boy George's band. Basically a gang of thugs Han once screwed over. But Rey unintentionally releases Han's cargo of Rathtars, really dangerous, testicle-looking creatures with big mouths that eat everyone. These things are messed up. They escape on the Falcon by going to hyperspace from inside the docking bay. It's like a Fast and Furious movie in the Star Hux universe. Meanwhile, General Hux and Kylo Ren talk to the literal big boss. This is Snoke. He's deformed, cranky, voiced by Andy Serkis. Such an interesting introduction to a character, shrouded in mystery. I bet he's going to be a really cool villain throughout the trilogy, worthy of Palpatine. I'm seeing a trend here.
There's been an awakening.
Yeah, but I hit snooze and slept through it.
The droid we seek is in the hands of your father, Han Solo.
I really wish this was a surprise. I tried to stay away from the discussions, the news articles, the rumor mill. I wanted to see this unspoiled with a blank slate. Then, right before the movie, I was reading about something totally unrelated, and some jerk-off changed his screen name. Han Solo is murdered by his son Kylo Ren. Your parents raised you wrong.
It's all true.
I guess hives of scum and villainy are all over like subways.
Han Solo!
Maz Kanata is this franchise's owner.
Where's my boyfriend?
Chewie's working on the Falcon.
I like that Wookiee.
Do you think they did it? You've wondered.
A Gundam.
Maybe they should have left BB-8 in the ship. He's awfully easy to spot. Kylo Ren is a Darth Vader superfan. He has Vader's melted helmet from Return of the Jedi. You can find almost anything on eBay. Do you think Anakin's skull is still in there? Every once in a while he takes it out and gives it a shake. Finn starts getting nervous. The First Order is surely closing in. The Resistance needs BB-8, and I think Maz is coming on to him. Finn comes clean. He's not in the Resistance. He's a stormtrooper with commitment issues, so he leaves. Rey wanders into the basement, and she just helps herself to other people's chests. But inside, she finds a genuine collector's item, Luke's old lightsaber. You know, the one he lost at Empire? Can't wait to hear this story. Really? Rey touches it and gets a fentanyl-fueled vision.
It calls to you.
Maz wants to let her keep it, but she don't want it. I guess she could always list it on Mercari. Meanwhile, on Starkiller Base, also known as Death Star 3, the First Order is preparing to fire. Yeah, make the galaxy great again, we get it. They fire the weapon, which travels through hyperspace, allowing it to travel to multiple targets light years away. My captions are probably reading nerd. A seemingly important planet is hit. We're not going to learn a damn thing about this one, are we?
Nope. Sorry.
The First Order arrives and starts shit like they do. Finn gets the lightsaber. Good. If somebody don't start swinging that thing, I'm gonna scream. Now that's what I'm talking about.
I like this thing.
Then they get captured, but the Resistance arrives. Poe is alive and flying one of the new X-Wings. I like this model. Kylo Ren captures Rey and takes her away. Finn yells her name a few times. They beat back the First Order, and now we see Leia and 3PO. He has a red arm.
You don't recognize me because of the red arm.
There's a story there, but I didn't do the reading. Han and Leia had a falling out. I hate it when movies break up couples when they don't know what else to do with them. But if you want bromance, Finn and Poe together again. BB-8 was carrying the map to Luke, not currently useful or plot relevant. R2-D2 is here, but he's charging, I guess. Kylo takes off his mask for the ladies in the audience. And using the Force to probe her mind doesn't work. She can use the Force and she blocks him.
You will never be as strong as Darth Vader.
Oh, you're mean.
She now knows she can use the Force and uses the mind trick to get a stormtrooper to let her go.
You will remove these restraints and leave this cell with the door open.
How did she know to do that? She's seen the movies. He is so fired.
It's another Death Star.
Told you it's another Death Star. Han, Chewie, and Finn go to Starkiller so they can sabotage the shields to allow fighters to attack it. They capture Phasma. I bet she won't cooperate. Oh, she shuts off the shields without a fight. They just point a blaster at her head and off. The base is huge. How are they going to find Rey in all this? Oh, they literally bump into her. They need to help the fighters outside by planting some boob bombs. Ben! Han faces Kylo, whose real name is Ben. Ben was training to be a Jedi under Luke. Snoke turned Ben evil, and Luke ran off.
Everybody got that?
Han tries to talk him down, and it looks like it's working, but Kylo remembers forking over $14 for Dial of Destiny. Harrison Ford wanted out anyway. I respect his choice. Out in the woods, Kylo knocks out Rey. Finn and Kylo saber duel, and he's doing okay. He must have the Force flowing through him. He does, right? They don't do hardly anything with it? I give up. Their saber fights are a little rough. Finn and Rey aren't experts, and Kylo's wounded. I do hope they get better.
Nope. Sorry.
I could show you the ways of the Force!
So just do it! Make your dreams come true!
But Rey beats him, gives him a boss scar, and the ground decides they shouldn't be fighting anymore. Everyone escapes, and the base explodes. Leia comforts Rey, but not Chewie. He'll be fine. R2-D2 wakes up, and he has the rest of the map. So they plot a course to follow Luke. Rey and Chewie go off after him. At least Rey isn't wearing Han's clothes. That would have been really weird. They arrive on a planet that sounds like it was named after a sneeze. Rey finds Luke, and she's like, "Can you sign this?" And Luke's like, "You didn't happen to find a hand with that, did you?" What's he really gonna say? We waited the whole movie for this. You gotta be kidding me. That was Star Wars, The Force Awakens. I know I reviewed the trilogy backwards because I wanted to roll back to where it all began, where the hope started, and rewatch it knowing what will or won't happen. It gave me a clearer view of the opportunities missed and the hopes left unsatisfied. The new characters were promising. Rey was a good character. Finn, great start. A worthy addition to the lore and my bookshelf. Poe initially meant to die, they kept him on. Already a sign of the filmmaker's inability to commit to an idea. Don't get me wrong, I love Poe's character. He's a cool guy, but sometimes sacrifices need to be made to serve the narrative and not sell action figures. Han Solo had a fairly large final role, and it's probably the biggest emotional punch. R2 and 3PO are mostly window dressing. Leia is used sparingly, and don't get me started on Luke. I get it, this is meant to launch a new generation, but throw us a bone, JJ. I wanted to see the big three together at least one last time. Kylo Ren is an interesting character, and we can only see his path going one of two ways. Stay evil, that would have been interesting. A redemption arc was more likely, but with the death of Solo, it would have been an impossible journey, right?
No.
The soundtrack by John Williams will always be a win. There is no other. The effects were top-notch, the pacing was brisk and energetic, almost hyperactive at times. I get that the filmmakers wanted to ease old fans into a new franchise while welcoming new fans. So many of the same beats from the original were referenced if not outright copied. This left The Force Awakens feeling like an old friend, training wheels for a new world. But J.J. Abrams needed to lay off the Goram mystery boxes, especially if the full story wasn't locked in. Questions were raised throughout the trilogy without us ever getting answers. Supplemental materials should not be required to tell a movie's story. My biggest problem with the entire trilogy is the lack of a unified vision. Rian Johnson tried to do something new with the second, and I applauded the effort. But it was undone and ignored when J.J. Abrams took over Part 3. This led to more unanswered questions and a fractured, incohesive narrative as a whole. A trilogy should be considered one giant movie split for time, and not dueling artistic visions. In the end, The Force Awakens brought Star Wars back from the dead, and depending on how you look at it, it either comes back as a Force ghost or a zombie. On my first viewing, I ranked The Force Awakens 4.5 Bs. I was just so thrilled. I went to this movie full of hope, and I walked out with hope that the story would continue. But now, knowing what I know, I have to back it down to 3 Bs, which I feel is low for a Star Wars movie. So much wasted potential, too many unresolved points, it was kind of a mess. But Star Wars isn't totally done. Rogue One was excellent, I loved Andor and The Mandalorian, and that final duel in Obi-Wan was incredible. My advice to Disney: hire filmmakers and producers who are fans, who understand the material. Don't force the fan service, don't pander to critics, and maybe you can start enjoying that $4 billion investment. And finally, may the Force be with us all. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment the bell, you know, the usual YouTube stuff. This is theNewBee, and I'll see you later, kids. Toodles, and happy May 4th.
Thank you.